Hey, my wonderful Virgo placements. Happy birthday! Happy birthday! This is Christina here, Ginger Mama, coming at you with your extended monthly Tarotscope. This is for divine masculine energy. Please understand we all hold feminine and masculine energy. It's the yin-yang balance within us. And we all hold that, but most of us are imbalanced in some way. If you're confused which one you're more imbalanced in, I encourage you to watch both the masculine and feminine reading to gain more insight of where you might be now. Also, my website, gingermama.com with the 3 A's, has free blog content with more information. So we're gonna dive into it. We're in Virgo season, right? It's your birthday. You're probably feeling good. As I was channeling for you, I was channeling someone like drinking out of like a juice box or something, like almost like a little kid, like this vibe of like you're still holding on to summer. And I'm sure if you have birthday placements there, it's like a great time to like, fall's coming, but you're like, no, I'm still holding on to this summer vibe. And the song, excuse me, playing is Lee Bryce. It's called Soul. And I get this sense that like masculine energy right now with Virgo placements is feeling that need of like, it's really sexy if someone's into me, like spiritually and physically and emotionally, and like, wow, I really want to call in that. Like, there's something there, it's like you're kind of bored with like the summer flings or the other options, and you're like, I think I want something more. And so I love that energy for you right now. On the 5th of this month, in a few days, we have Venus in Virgo. Venus is the planet of love, everybody, of love. So you're going to be really feeling this. Look at this. Look at this. I love this for you. The way I read tarot, by the way, everyone, I made an agreement with Source early on that the Ace of Pentacles would be like confirmation from Source, hand of God. It can mean money as well. But the yellow brick road here leading to new earth. It's like you've been on this yellow brick road. You're evolving. You're growing. You're opening your mind up to the possibilities. And right now, it's like, however you want to look at these cards, I feel like you have a person, or you're trying to manifest in a deep soul connection, but there's still some hesitancy to open up emotionally, or maybe you feel kind of silly or insecure opening up emotionally because in the past you haven't done that as much. You might also be struggling with some ideas of what does commitment look like, and I don't want to be bogged down, but at the same time, you want that safety, that security, that commitment, right? Feminine energy craves safety, security, communication, commitment in order to feel secure in the connection, and in order to be able to fully embrace and release, who they are. And so pay attention to that. Be mindful, especially on the 5th, of like what's coming in for you, how you're feeling with that Venus in Virgo energy. On the 6th, we jump right into Aquarius moon energy. Okay, the moon will be in Aquarius. And that's not like a huge thing. However, on the 8th, Aquarius is conjunct Saturn, which is a call for all of us to look around our orbit and say, okay, let's take stock. Let's take inventory here. Who are the connections around me? Family, friends, lovers. What is it I really want out of these connections? Are they working for me? Am I happy with them? Is there something more? Like, are people showing me their soul? Am I doing that? What is the balance and duality there? And Aquarian energy is all about the collective, right? So understanding why this journey is so important from a collective, bigger picture perspective, not just an individual one, and how you fit into that puzzle. Maybe you're like, how do I fit in when it comes to work or love or whatever it is for you? We all have a very beautiful, unique soul imprint and mission during our time here on this planet. And so embrace that. Really think about your tribe right now, friends, family, lovers. Are they serving you? Are you really lit up and happy by that energy? Or is it taxing you? Is it draining you? Anything draining you, that's a sign to pull back right now. To just speak the truth to someone and say, hey, I'm going to take some time for myself right now. I'm going to focus on my own healing, maybe harnessing your sexual energy, whatever it might be for you. And just tell someone the truth. Hey, I'll reach out to you in a month or 6 weeks or 2 months. It's all about speaking the truth, communicating clearly. And when we're just running from a situation or ghosting and not communicating clearly and following through, then we're creating friction in our lives with the universe. They're like, that's not the way to handle that, right? That's not mature. That's not, emotional availability. And so don't be afraid to speak the truth and hold the boundaries, but make sure you're not doing it from a manipulative place of just, I'm not going to speak to you, I'm going to ignore you. That's not fair. You need to speak clearly about what's going on. The 9th, right after that, we hit retrograde. And for those of you that don't know astrology, retrograde, Mercury will be in retrograde. I shouldn't just say retrograde, Mercury specifically. And this can hinder communication a bit. Communication can get misunderstood, dicey, travel can be complicated, technology issues, make sure you're, saving things online or really being mindful in what you speak. Now, retrograde, sometimes people get in this headspace of, well, then I'm not going to communicate. I'm going to wait. And that becomes very problematic as well, because this Mercury in retrograde is pushing you to communicate more clearly, okay? And so that is the give and take here. You're going to feel compelled to communicate, but then you have this fear about how to do so, okay? So dive in. Don't be afraid. The retrograde in Mercury will be in Libra. And so that's all about balance. Again, this justice energy of like, how do I communicate my needs but hold space for another's needs, especially if it has to do with a twin flame, divine counterpart, a romantic connection. How do you hold space for these, energies, right? What's your specific role in this? And again, that feeling of, I like your soul. It's like, okay, well, like, what soul are you bringing to this? Are you just expecting this other person to be there for you in that way, but you're not matching and mirroring that energy in duality, right? And then the 10th, we have the full moon right after that in Pisces. And let me tell you, full moons right now, look at this 2 of Cups. Who are you, Virgo, divine masculine? You definitely have love. I feel like you have a person. It's just you're struggling with commitment. Ding on my phone as I say that. That's crazy. You have this soul connection, but you're struggling with this idea of commitment. And so this full moon in Pisces is going to kick you into gear. It's going to say, you better do something. You better communicate something. You need to be looking to the future with this connection. What is it you really want? What is it that's blocking you from commitment? Is this past energy you still haven't cleared? Are your views of commitment just this 1950s, like so-and-so works and so-and-so stays home and they take my money, or I have to do this or that? Like, what are you doing? No. Commitment is about feeling safe. Commitment is, I'm committed to communicating with you. For some couples, commitment is, I'm committed to, only being with you, whatever it might be. But you need to identify how you would view ideal commitment in a relationship. And then you need to take the action steps to communicate that to your person. The Hierophant reversed. Both of these cards are telling me you are really struggling with commitment. You think commitment is like awful. There can be freedom within commitment. Do you understand? Like, I know people don't understand that, but maybe focus on that. How can I feel free to embody myself and this other person to embody themselves through the idea of commitment? How can I restructure the idea of commitment? That Aquarian energy of like collective, like what is commitment to oneself, but then what is commitment to the collective? What is commitment to a relationship? How can I speak freely, honestly, and truthfully within that? Yeah, the Magician reverse tells me many of you are thinking about this soulmate or this person. You might be having a lot of feelings come up. You're thinking about them a lot, but you're not taking the action to communicate with them. And understand you need to. The universe is going to push you, especially with this full moon, with this retrograde. You're going to have to speak your truth, whether you want to or not. Ding. And you have to speak it without fear, with knowing that God did not guide you here, the universe, for no reason. There's a reason you are tied to this energy. There's a reason you cannot stop thinking about them. And whatever happened in the past is the past. You need to speak honestly and clearly and truthfully, and you'll be feeling better. Also, stones, crystals seem very significant for you this month. Not specific to anything I am holding necessarily, but many of you, maybe if you feel anxiety or worry as you communicate, it's that idea of like holding, rubbing, putting the energy into that earth energy, that Virgo, maybe putting one in your pocket or your purse. Anytime you're feeling stress, anxiety, worry, uncertainty, just channeling the energy into that, being like, okay, I can do this, and I'm going to give it to the rock. And I know that sounds like, oh yeah, it's that easy. No, it really does help, okay? Or maybe if you're having trouble sleeping, falling asleep with that. So anyways, let's keep going. My goodness, I can't believe we're already 10 minutes in. On the 23rd, we're still in retrograde, but retrograde switches from being in Libra to being in Virgo. So if you still didn't take the action, if you're still stalling on any emotional vulnerability within a connection, whether that's speaking the truth to yourself, to family, friends, lovers, you're really gonna feel that kick on the 23rd. The universe is gonna be like, we're done. We told you with the full moon, we told you with all this energy, you still didn't do it. And so you're really gonna feel that kick through the end of the month. The 25th is also the new moon as we, kick into Libra season. And the new moon is a great time for manifestations, for love. The full moon is a great time to release. So again, release any fear on the 10th. Release it. Really get grounded out in nature. Like stand outside, put your feet in the grass. Whatever you need to do to really give it to Mama Gaia, to say, take my fear and insecurity. Many of you, maybe you're thinking about trips or traveling with this feminine energy, or just traveling to the future, of this connection. You're like, I want out of the past. How do I look to the future? And take a cue. I know many of you view many of these feminines as imbalanced in their emotions, but I think you're beginning to see that they love you and care about you to the point where anything they were showing you is a mirror into you needing to tap into your own vulnerability and emotional state. And so whoever this person is that you're thinking of is balanced in their energy right now. Wheel of Fortune reversed. Excuse me. Many of you this month, if you're not taking forward action in your close relationships, whether that's leaving a karmic relationship, friends or family, setting better boundaries, speaking your truth, being emotionally vulnerable, you're going to feel really stuck, and you're also going to feel stalled out in finances, very drained in finances. Money is energy, just like time, just like conversation, just like sexual energy. It's all energy. It's all exactly the same. And so if you're not providing emotional vulnerability and clarity, if you're not moving forward where Source is calling you to, then you're going to be stalled out with money. And that is another way Source is trying to show you you're not getting it, you're not doing it, you're not taking the action. On the 29th, we also have Venus, then the planet of love, moving into Libra energy. Again, about that equal give and take, that balance, that yin yang that should be occurring in all of our partnerships, but especially those that are romantic. This comes out again. I shuffled the cards, everyone. Four of Wands, you have a person. You need to really get on this. I feel like you are going to feel so compelled. You can't hold back any longer. It's one of those you can run, but you can't hide. Also, the Four of Swords here. Maybe you're heavily thinking about being with this person intimately. That's great and all, but if you're thinking about it, feeling it, if you're laying in bed thinking about them, but you're not communicating with them, you're going to start to get some darker energies kicking back at you. And that can become very scary. And that's because you're messing with someone else's energy without actually communicating in 3D. And that's what we would consider dark magic. Anyone that thinks about someone feels a certain way, it's the throat chakra there. You're being called to speak the truth about that regardless of the outcome. You might be like, this person never wants me, they don't this and that. It doesn't matter. If the universe is guiding you to speak your truth, you're being requested to do so, even if it's scary. That's how you're healing how avoidant you are. That's how you're going to get past this. And you have to have faith. This is about faith in the higher realms, faith in your heart space and yourself, and not having to always be logical about everything, and just trusting that what's meant for you is going to be for you. And you deserve clarity around this. You don't deserve to sit there and wonder for so long. Nothing is yet set in stone. Again, I think so many of you believe this is just set in stone, that's just on the back burner, it will never work. Well, if you believe that, then it won't work and you will have difficulty. So, all right, I think that is the message today. You're very close to achieving your goal. So I'm telling you, you got choices to make here, okay? Like the next few weeks, dive in the next couple of weeks before we hit this full moon, make it an effort to communicate your truth. to the best of your abilities, and flow with it and go and ask yourself, what lesson am I learning here? But my goodness, Virgos, this was not the case when I did the Libra reading. So you definitely, this is love. This is deep love. Whoever you were thinking of, this is a divine gift. This is very rare. Please understand, if you have a connection like this with someone, do not let it go to waste. Do not overthink it, okay? That's a really sad thing. When you see people do that for years and years, and then other people get in other connections, and then it's too late. You don't want to let a love like that go. So I love all of you. If you'd like a personal reading, or if you'd like more information on the twin flame journey, soulmates, whatever it might be, if you go to gingermama.com with the 3 A's, I have free blog content. I also post free content to TikTok all the time. I love you, and I will see you back next month.